are recording.
Thank you. All right, we'll call the Town of Hampstead Mayor and Town Council meeting to order. Please rise for the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Lord, we submit ourselves to you as your servants and the servants of the people of Hampstead who've placed their trust in us. Please allow every word that is spoken and every action taken to be in the best interest of Hampstead and for everyone who is here this evening to be a stabilizing influence in these unsettled times. O Lord, bless this meeting and our town. And let me add just a prayer for the Zollman family. Mrs. Zollman's gone through some health issues here of late, and they're in our thoughts and prayers. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tammy, roll.
Mayor Nevin.
Here.
Councilwoman Barrett. Here. Councilwoman Painter. Here. Councilman Thomas.
Here.
Councilman Unglesby.
Here.
And Councilman Zillman is absent.
All right. Minute approvals for the public hearing and the council meeting on November 8th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Ready? Staff report.
My. The annual Christmas tree lighting, I think we were all there. And the surrounding events were very well attended. And the Main Street stores that were open were also very busy. People were going in and out. And I just wanted to thank you to everyone who joined the festivities. The winners for the Small Business Saturday Passport Program will be chosen on December 16th. 20 winners will be randomly chosen to receive a $50 gift card each, good at any Passport business. The Candy Cane Lane on Main contest deadline has been extended. Any Main Street business or resident that would like to participate must notify town office and have their decorations up by December 19th, which is next Monday. We ask participants to please be considerate of their neighbors, do not block the sidewalk, and please do not attach any decoration to utility poles or lampposts. There will be a first and second prize winner chosen in both residential and business categories, which will be announced on Friday, December 30th. We had said Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve before, and then we realized that was a Saturday. So it'll be Friday, December 30th. And then winners will receive a gift certificate to a Hampstead business. Our commercial and residential projects continue to move forward. We are currently working on several different site plans and business prospects. Dollar General is still on schedule to rebuild the Hampstead store by the end of the year. Town staff met with Coppermine Pantherplex to discuss upcoming projects which will be discussed when they are made public. Town staff and county economic development staff will be meeting with representatives from Hans to discuss details of their concept plan and future water usage this week. With the finance department, the annual workers.
Hey, before you get to that,
Okay.
just so everybody, the commercial and residential projects piece, because everybody's asking me, all that dirt that's being moved up by the north end by the car wash.
Mm-hmm.
One part of it's for Ridge, the other part of it's the Carroll County Economic Development Commission, just getting the land ready for any potential user that would come along. Nobody's been identified yet.
No, nobody's been
So
identified.
no truth that it's going to be a women's prison.
Stop, don't even say that out loud. But you can see the foundation of the Ridge building. You can now see the concrete slab that's been installed. So for the finance department, the annual workers' comp audit has been completed. Since we are now fully staffed, there was a slight premium increase. A request for bids was released on November 1st for the cleaning and repainting of the interior and exterior of the North Water Tower. Last month, 2 mandatory pre-bid biddings were held and a total of 6 contractors attended. Sealed bids will be accepted at the town office until 2 p.m. on Thursday, December 15th, at which time these bids will be opened and read. The bid should be awarded at the January council meeting. Afterwards, a pre-construction meeting will be scheduled, and the anticipated start date of the work will be in March of 2023.
6 sounds like not the normal number. Sounds high.
Yeah, it was quite.
It was
quite
high.
a few more than normal.
It just means because it was mandatory, there's 6 people that are eligible to bid. It doesn't mean all 6 will bid, but
We should get some pretty good pricing.
Good.
hope so. I put it on the table to show you kind of what the new water bills will look like. So The water bills for this quarter will be generated from our new software, and as a result, the water bills will look slightly different. This is not the right card stock, but it's just slightly different. Instead of a list of charges, it's boxes. And then the front, I think, will look even nicer because the front will have our logo. Hopefully help people see it a little more in their mailbox. Like I said, the bills will still be on postcards, but the color and format are different. Each customer has been assigned a new account number. So you'll need to enter this new number if you're paying online via the town website. And just a note, customers that use online bill pay through their bank will need to update their account number information because they'll be assigned a different account number. So with our water system, Public Works staff, our consultant, and I have had several meetings to discuss PFAS removal projects and the best path forward. And I know our consultants met with the mayor. And this is an enormous undertaking, especially for Kevin and Toby, as they research information and conduct extra water sampling in addition to their normal duties. So every time the consultant says, we need this information, it's typically Kevin and Toby that is researching the information or gathering the information. They also did the PFAS sampling last time for the consultants. So it's been a lot of work. So I just wanted to thank them.
First round is at the lab where we results. The second lab ships, the second round ships to the lab tomorrow.
Okay.
And it has to be received within 24 hours at a certain temperature, so it's coming together.
Maybe. All right. Oversight, Diane.
All right, the Christmas market held on November 18th and 19th was another highly successful event. We'd like to thank everyone who came out to shop and support our farmers market craft and food vendors. So we certainly appreciate all the vendors and sponsors and volunteers who make this event possible each year. And also thank you to St. John's Church for providing us the space to use. The advisory team will resume meeting in January to continue planning for the 2023 season, which will be the farmers market's 14th year. Keith took some well-deserved time off after the farmers market and after the Christmas market, and he and his wife have been doing some traveling, so it's certainly well-deserved with all the work that he does throughout the year. So we hope to wish everyone a happy and safe holiday season.
Yeah, that was well done. Thank you.
And just a note, I'm sorry, I haven't told Councilwoman Barrett this, but we've been working with Coppermine, Panther, Plex. They put it in as a reservation for the farmers market, but I keep saying, can we have something in writing? You know, can we please do an MOU? They have it reserved for the farmers market for next season, but I'm still waiting to get it in writing.
So from what I understand, it's a year-to-year type thing.
It's going to be a year type thing.
And we're paying rent next year?
I think it's a
$500.
minimal amount, $500, yeah.
It's a very
Okay.
small amount.
All right. Wayne?
Thank you. The Hampstead train station is closed for the winter. I've already been getting emails from bands, so we're starting to get bands already set up for the next season for music in the park. So that's good. Tree Commission is going to meet in January. I've talked to Councilman Unglesby about we've burned through our money for the year, so we're talking about doing a share program with Westwood Park to fill in some of their tree banks where some trees have departed. So
Can I ask a question about the music in the park? We've had one person had a concern because I had spoken to you about the what do you want to say, the feedback, how do you say that, the bouncing of the sound, and we were looking at maybe sound absorbing panels. Did you have any other bands that stated the same thing?
no.
Okay, it was just one.
We had one band that was pretty loud, and from what I understood, they could hear it in Roberts Field.
Oh no.
But other than that,
Good thing.
Could be where they place their speakers.
and we will have Blue Moon back, probably the same weekend.
Okay.
That was such a great concert.
So, good.
Deb?
The Planning and Zoning Commission met on Wednesday, November 16th, a week earlier due to the Thanksgiving holiday. And the meeting was very light. There was nothing on the agenda. We did hear from the Carroll County Department of Planning, and their update is that their comprehensive rezoning is complete, and they have presented their 2022 water and sewer master plans and the transportation master plan to the board.
All right. Dave?
December's been very busy. Attended the MML Board of Directors retreat in Baltimore about 2 weeks ago. We talked about police reform bill. We met with the state delegate and senator that had sponsored that. MML's police chief board rep was there. And what MML wants to do is lobby for local control of the police boards. It's a good idea. Also attended the MML Carroll chapter dinner, which we were at. I'm sure the mayor will talk about that. Helped with the Christmas tree lighting downtown last month, and helped with Shop at a Cop this past weekend. I do have some information on the cemetery. I got a call again from the Rose Society in Maryland, and they're actually going to donate quite a few plants. I'm going to almost triple the rose garden that's there now, and that's going to all be donated to us, and we should have that put in early spring. So it's going to be really nice. Chief Sites Park. The new equipment was installed at the park on December 8th. It was a new climbing wall, a log roller were added to enhance the playground experience. Looks pretty good. And a new picnic table is on order for the park and should be delivered in the spring. That's it.
Do you want to borrow from the water report?
Oh, I knew Dave would do it.
In November 2022, water average usage was 339,000 gallons per day. December 2022 average water usage so far was 324,000 gallons per day. Rainfall total in November 2022 was 3.1 inches. Rainfall total so far for December 2022 is 0.5 inches.
And we're looking forward to Thursday morning, aren't we, Kevin?
No ice storm. Stay in bed long enough, you'll miss it.
Well, here's hoping. And we before the meeting, we were talking about a little leak we found that was running about 20,000 gallons a day. So those numbers are a little higher than they should be, but we caught it, fixed it. All right, Chief, you're up.
All right, good evening, everyone. During the month of November, we investigated one portable crash, 5 minor property damage only crashes, and 1 crash at the 482 Circle. Speed signs were placed at 6 locations for a total of 29 days of display, and the focus continues to be primarily in the school areas. Traffic enforcement included 23 selective enforcements over a 14.5-hour period. During that activity, 18 citations and 6 warnings were issued. Overall, traffic enforcement included 50 citations and 119 warnings. We conducted 459 property checks of businesses and schools. With reference to criminal activity, we investigated 4 thefts, 3 DUIs, 1 violation of a peace order, and 1 assault of 2nd degree. Arrests included 4 adults were taken into custody for DUIs, 2 adults for driving without a license and uninsured vehicles, 1 adult for a 2nd degree assault, and 2 juveniles for shoplifting. Training included 83 hours. Some of the topics included DUI conference, crisis intervention with mentally ill subjects, managing police records, preparing a response to challenging situations, addressing bomb threats in schools, a leadership course for our supervisors, active shooter training, level 3 and 4, training in confined spaces, how to deal with incidents involving confined spaces, campus-based training related to the Clery Act, contraband control, cultural awareness, hate crimes, basic communication skills. One of our officers successfully completed a ballistic shield instructor's school, grant management school, as well as a class relative to protecting places of worship from violence and crime. Community events included the annual American Legion Officer Award over in Westminster. In this particular case, and I think many people are already aware of this, Lieutenant Gagler was recognized for some really great police work out on Main Street earlier this year. We also attended the Hampstead Merchants Association meeting We were a host to Cub Scout Pack 796, a visit at the police station. We participated, obviously, in the annual tree lighting. And the big thing this past Saturday was a Shop with a Cop program. There's so many people that make that whole thing work. There's countless hours of work that go into it. I think every business in the community contributes in some way, shape, or form. Appreciate the help from the mayor, Councilman Uncleby's buddy, Santa Claus, as well. We truly appreciate that. Town staff came out and helped us with some of the wrapping that goes on behind the scenes, because one of the things that I can tell you that we've never mentioned on any of the training we do is we can't wrap gifts to save our life. I will say
Thank God for bags.
Christina's daughter was so wonderfully patient with me, and finally I had to give up, but we couldn't have done it with all the help.
So Christina and Judy were good at wrapping the gifts?
Christina and Judy were there. Carol from Pipe to Side has a fantastic ability to wrap gifts. Mrs. Unglesby can do things with her eyes closed. I think I've never seen anybody wrap gifts so quickly, but we can't make it work without that. I'd also like to basically acknowledge Officer Wilt. This is his first year at the helm. I think he did really well. He was very nervous, making sure all the different things fall into place, and ultimately they do. And you know, none of it takes place without Walmart. Walmart, there's great people down there. They can't be more accommodating. I think it's a good, positive thing. We had some good families this year. And again, I could spend all evening here thanking people individually, but thank you for everybody from the town, all the different moving parts. Without it, you know, it just wouldn't work. And that would be my report. That's everything.
Thanks. Any questions for the chief?
No.
Thank you.
So I guess I'll start mine out with the Shop with a Cop, and just to reiterate what he said, it was a great event, and you know, the families are very appreciative of it. The kids are amazing, and you know, I was just happy to be a part of it again this year, and back at Walmart Live, walking around all the aisles trying to find the appropriate gifts. As indicated, the town Christmas tree and decoration lighting went off superbly. We even had snowfall to help us out for a little bit early on, which was new this year, which was great. And it's actually on YouTube under Hampstead Christmas tree lighting, I believe. An 8-minute montage there. Too much of me talking, not enough of the entertainment and the singing. Though they did have the Manchester Valley group singing as Santa Claus came down the main street on the truck, you know, over top. They didn't have the sirens, they had the actual singing being done, so it was well done. So, but a great event, and you know, from the farmers market to the Cub Scouts to Spring Garden Elementary being back to Manchester Valley and their impromptu Santa Clauses coming to town as Santa was making his way up the sidewalk, it was really a good night. Mundane stuff related to government. Dave mentioned we had a Carroll County Maryland Municipal League meeting down in Sykesville where we reviewed our Police Accountability Board initiative, where we're asking for a granting clause to allow towns to have their own police accountability boards. Right now it's confined to the county based upon what he heard at this board meeting. Doesn't sound like it's happening this year because the delegates and senators want more time to pass before they consider letting towns have their own separate boards. It was great that the new commissioner, 4 of the 5 new commissioners were there. They spoke, and then and the new delegates were there, and they spoke. So it was a very well attended event. There was, mention of the meetings that we've had on the water system with PFAS and PFOA, which is all the plastics in the water. We're waiting on the maximum daily load that they're going to let us have in there, but it's going to be measured in the parts per trillion. I think you've heard my editorial comments before of what happened to millions, and we skip right past billions. But, parts per trillion, you really get down into haystack inside of a 300,000 square foot warehouse trying to find a needle. So it's just the amount of regulation that we're encountering is extreme. I think we're losing a little bit of balance. And but it's going to be what it is, and we're going to have to deal with it. So we're looking at using what's left of our ARPA money, and then the rest will be on the ratepayers. And hopefully, though, we're gonna get in line at the front end of the line with the Maryland Department of the Environment and the state to get some money so that becomes less of a burden. But carbon filtration looks like the future that everybody's going to need, because if it's not this contamination, There's more coming down the line because, as I've learned from the Water Act, they want to find new contaminants. It's not limited to a defined universe today. It continues on because PFOA and PFAS was before 2019 was nobody ever talked about it. So that's the dynamic we play with today. I've had a couple of meetings with Ken Collar, who's our new county commissioner for this district, just filling him in on events in Hampstead and interactions with the county. I think Kenny is going to be great, great commissioner. Dick was too. Ken brings a real business background to the position, so I look forward to seeing what Ken does. And he's, it's definitely going to be a different tenor with him with the Board of Commissioners. Taking, I think, a little bit more of an active role. So lastly, some good news that we got noticed on November 22nd. We had submitted for the Hampstead Volunteer Fire Station with their renovations that are going on. This part related to the demolition. So the state awarded the town, which we will then pass directly to the fire company, $400,000 for that. So that's great news. That's, of course, only for the demo piece. We'll be going back to them saying, okay, now help us out with the building piece, because it's I think a $7 or $8 million project last I saw. So, so they need, again, a lot of local help with that as well, and there's been several local people who've definitely stepped up. But that's some good news to end the year with. So, all right, there's no unfinished business, so on to new business, and we got more good news. We have a presentation and approval of a gift from Reedy, Inc. property, which is Clearview Avenue, Tract 4, for 7.042 acres. And Mr. Hill's here tonight. If you want to say a few words, we'd be thrilled.
Well, I am here tonight in my role as president of Reedy. I've been here for many other things. We were the land developers for the Robertsfield Shopping Center, and this is the one undeveloped parcel. Now, we've been cooperating with the town and the county for, I guess it's a couple years now, in a retrofit project for stormwater management in the Robertsfield subdivision and commercial. As we're moving along, we've never had a clear picture of what's going to happen when we got to the point where they knew what they were going to do. And as members of the community, having been involved here for a long time, we decided that we should look at what we could do, and made the decision that we would offer this piece to the town. Part of the motivation for that, excuse me here, is that we also have been the owners, developers of the Lizzie's Lockers facility here at the north end of town. And as we were working through that project and needed to add water and sewer, I have to say the town was very helpful. The council approving us for sewer, even though we're not in the town. Tammy, Kevin, Jim had just been supporters. And it has just made the whole process work. And I think you also recognize that we sold the property, and this helped to make that possible. So we felt that this was a way of saying thank you and providing some community support, because the town has been very supportive of us over the years. I told the mayor, and shouldn't say this in public, but try to manage what they leave you, because there is the possibility of a nice little workable piece of land there. If somebody holds their hand and says, we won't go along with the original plan or the last plan we saw.
I already spoke to the head of that department, and he said he was going to honor the verbal agreements that they had with you to leave a.
Well, Marty Hackett at Carroll Services has been assisting us on that and has done some drawings to show what could be done, and I suggest you reach out there. So that's what I have to say, and I appreciate the opportunity to be of assistance.
Really, well, Mr. Hill, we really appreciate that, and thank you. It'll go a long way to getting that project completed, and taking away our high hazard dam down there at the bottom of that hill.
Yes.
So we look forward to seeing that get done, and we really appreciate the gift. It means a lot, and we, just truly
Just say
appreciate it.
thank you, that's all I can say.
Okay, so,
Thank you.
Very much.
well, we got to do a little business related to it, so we need an approval to accept the gift.
I make a motion to accept the gift from Hill Reedy of the property.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hill.
All right. Next is the approval of transfer of land from the Industrial Development Authority to the town of Hampstead. That's the Industrial Development Authority of Carroll County, which is the north welcome sign location of approximately .008 acres. You read that right, .008. You have it. You have a picture of it. So you could.
Actually, it's going to be just a little bit bigger. But technically, we're not required of approval, but we just wanted to let you know that we were going to do this. It's going to end up being 218 square feet. The first drawing, if you notice, they didn't go all the way to pavement. They didn't go all the way to the road. They just went to the right of way. So we asked them to please go all the way to the road. The parcel's just a little bit bigger, but they didn't have time to do the meets and bounds and change everything. So we will do that this week. I just didn't want to hold it up any longer.
So what we're accepting is what's in red in the second.
Yes, it's this one with 218 square feet.
Whatever land's necessary so that we can put up that sign that encroaches on the county IDA land. How's that?
I make a motion to approve the transfer of land from the IDA to the town.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. All right, and then the third item in new business is the approval of the amended and restated 2022 Personnel Policy Manual that we've talked about on several occasions. Everybody good with it?
I'm so sorry that Judy isn't.
That Judy's
Did
not
you
here.
have a question, or are you just going to wait?
I'm just sorry that she isn't here.
Personal matter to take care of, but is there a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. All right, ordinances and resolutions. First is an ordinance to authorize the permanent abandonment of real property. This is the property that's related to the old tower up on Hillcrest. So lots of property decisions being made today, all for the good. So you have the paperwork in front of you. Any questions or comments, or I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. For the introduction.
Second.
Second.
So, motion and a second for the introduction of ordinance 545. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The ordinance is introduced. And then lastly, we have an ordinance to introduce ordinance number 546, which is an increase to the salaries of the mayor and council. The mayor currently makes $7,000 a year, the council $3,000 a year. I forget the last time we probably increased these, over 10 years ago.
I was going to say, it hasn't been since I've been here.
So, and the proposed ordinance is to increase the council to $4,000 a year and the mayor to $9,800 a year. So, a motion to introduce.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Up.
Aye.
Oh,
Discussion.
sure.
Just making note of the fact that we're not voting ourselves a raise. In order to get this, in order to get the additional dollars, you have to be reelected.
Well, it's whoever the next mayor is and the town council, either in 23 or 25. So those reelected in 23 get the 4,000. Those elected in 25 have to wait until 25 to get the 4,000. So we can't do it for ourselves. We're not Baltimore City. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Balma.
All right.
He said Balma.
So, sorry. It comes out of me. Any public comments? None?
One thing we did forget to mention is Santa starts his fire truck ride tonight.
Is it
Yeah, I
done?
heard him.
Tonight is night one.
Oh, tonight's night one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Through my community tonight.
Yes, so tonight's night one, and Santa will be on the fire truck. I think the schedule can be found on the Hampstead Fire Department
Fire
site.
department.
Excuse me.
Good.
So keep a lookout.
So sirens don't necessarily mean a fire for the next 4 days. So,
I wanted to make one more
It's a little
comment about Marty Hill, and he has left. They had like 6 acres across from Lizzie's Lockers, and we had a developer looking for property, and we already have a concept plan, a draft. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx it, but they're getting ready to go to settlement for that property. So he's worked with us a lot.
Okay. Something that'll be a benefit to the town.
One thing I failed to mention, I don't know who was responsible for us getting tickets to A Christmas Carol this past weekend,
Was
but it was fantastic,
Yes.
It really was.
really was.
And it was different. You went last year, right?
No.
You did not, because I think last year was the play and this year's was a musical of the same.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah, they do an incredible job.
Side's looking good too.
Nora, in her tradition, she won the 50-50 raffle or won a raffle on the set.
All right, so with that bit of Christmas news, then there's no public comments. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And if you're on TV, watching us on TV, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Arlene, we doing winter martinis?